Welcome to the so that's a leg of lamb prepped. Now we're going to prepare a rack of lamb. We're going to French trim this rack of lamb, which is a very, very popular thing now. Just going to remove the bottom bone, or the chine bone, or the backbone as it were. Again, sharp knife, take your time, don't be scared of it. Nice long sweeping cuts using the point, just following that bone round. Practice makes perfect. You'll get there. Now I'm just going to remove that little bit on the bottom there, which is known as the paddy whack. You all wonder what paddy whack was, didn't you? Now just trim a little bit of that thin flank off the top of the chops, so we get that finish, that finger bone finish that we all recognise. Again, this joint makes the crown roast, the guard of honours, but we're doing a rack here, a French trim rack, which just quickly roasted, so it's crispy on the outside and pink on the inside. Wow, it takes some beating, that does. So there we go. Tidy them up a little bit. That's ready then to cook, and then put your little paper hats on and make it look right pretty. That's the French trimmed rack of lamb. Okay, I'm just going to remove that fore shank now off the shoulder. This is a bit of a fiddly joint. This is a hinge joint, quite a fiddly one, that one. That's number 9. That's the fore shank. Not so much meat on as the hind shank. And now we're going to just prepare this shoulder. I want to prepare this shoulder. I just want to really show you where the actual neck fillet comes from, which again is getting very popular. A lot of people wonder why you don't find more of them. Well, you'll see why. So we're just going to remove these rib bones from the shoulder. And then wiggle round the backbone. Again, sharp knife is most important. Most important. See, long sweeping cuts using the point, turning the bone as you run the knife through. There's that paddy whack again, running up the backbone. Actually, a tendon that gives us that flexibility in the backbone. Well, there you go. Just remove the neck fillet, which is just that continuation of the muscle from the lamb chops, that eye muscle. There's the shoulder then, that's prepared, ready for sale, ready for roasting. I'll just show you again where that neck fillet comes from. There it is. There's that muscle on the top of the shoulder, which we've removed. It's pulled away. See that? And again, this is why they tend to be quite expensive, the neck fillet. Okay, we're going to just whip the bone out of this chump now. This is the chump which came off of the leg, or the equivalent to the rump steak on the lamb. Makes a lovely mini roast, but ask your butcher to bone it for you. Or by now, maybe you can do it yourself, because it's a bit of a fiddly bone, this one. There we go. Just cut that into steaks. Lovely. And now onto the breast. Very underrated, this. It's a good one to practice on. Get a breast on the bone and fiddle around with these little flat bones, just taking your time, just taking them out one by one. All good knife practice, this. There we go. Now, just in Blue Peter fashion, I'll just whiz on. There we go, it's whizzed on, and you can see now that's the bones removed. Now there's quite a thick vein of fat there, which we will remove. Quite easy to remove. Just run your knife down, run your finger through, and it'll just pull out. So that leaves us something now which is probably 75–80% lean. But this is quite a nice lean lamb. On the fatter lambs you'd probably be down to 50% lean. So there's the breast ready for roasting. Right, number 5. This is the best loin, also the equivalent to the T-bone. This makes a nice chop. This does. There we go, and you can see on there that little T-bone that runs through it. There we go. Quite nice. As I say, not too much fat on there, just right. There's that T-bone. Okay. That's the loin chops. And then this is the lowly scrag, and this makes the most fabulous stews and soups. Cooked long and slow with lots of pearl barley and all the root vegetables you can throw in. Just throw it all in and cook it nice and slowly on the bone. Throw it all in and just let it tick away all day. Quite lovely. And if it does seem to be a little bit over fat, then just cook it the day before and then skim it and then thoroughly reheat the next day, and well, you'll just have a fabulous meal. And so cheap, so cheap. That's the scrag of lamb. There we go.